Hello, my name is Melanie and I'm from the Cap Region Women's Conference, or capregionwomen.com, and today I'm interviewing Tuschinski, and she's the founder of Savvy Success Junkie, Inspiration in Action. Tell us about some of the projects that you're up to these days.
Okay, well, one of my biggest projects I'm up to these days is looking forward to the Cap Region Women's Conference. And before we go on, I just have to say thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me to be on your VIP panel. I am humbled by the women that will be joining me and the event overall, and the fact that we're on Google Plus right now, this Hangout, which I would have never known about. And that becomes another project, right? And I thought technology was going to, sometimes it hinders those of us that have other areas of expertise. So here I am with you, Cap Region, going to be phenomenal, speaking often and really enjoying what I love doing most, and that is working with women CEOs, industry leaders, community leaders, my success junkies, my savvy women, and helping them to really develop their personal best and take that to the next level, becoming their CEOs of their lives.
Perfect. So you're an author, you've written books, and you've spoken all over the country. What is the big message you would love to communicate as you participate in the conference?
In the conference, I'll be on the balance panel. We'll really be focusing on balance. However, I'm available throughout the day to talk about the various challenges that women experience, whether that's change or understanding how to really discover what their personal best is by starting with their purpose.
So what are some tips or advice that you would give women at the conference or women that are viewing this video today?
Fun tips that I like to give. I'm not giving it all away. When I'm speaking and we look at what is the mind shift and how that plays into our lives, and then inspiration and action and motivation. So regardless of the topic that I'm brought in to speak on, whether it's in an office environment or I'm in, my God, auditorium, coliseum, and out there speaking, regardless, it all comes down to what is your purpose in every single thing you do and your personal accountability that you attach to that. So something that a trick for mindset shift that I like to share. One is, and I'm going to recommend it because I don't tell people what they should do. Nobody likes to be told what they should do. So instead of saying should, I recommend that you replace that word with want. And we're raised from you should do this, you should do that. And at some point it brings out a rebellious side rather than our motivated side of doing what we want to do. So if we can take any action that's part of our lives, and instead of doing it because we should do it, we say, it's 12 o'clock, I want to do it. And then you can decide, no, I don't, or yes, I really do. And how does that relate to me and my accountability? And then that's going to play into my priorities. Going back to balancing our lives, how does everything we do fall into our priorities? So we know what's negotiable, what's non-negotiable, what to ditch and what to do. So that's one. So we're going to replace should, I recommend it, with want. And that is a part of most of my coaching sessions, is starting out with, what do you want? And that can be challenging because we're so busy helping others with what they want.
And that's really interesting. I think a lot of us have all those shoulds in our head. We've had them since childhood. And that's interesting because when you are asked what you want, sometimes that's really hard to find. And I've always thought a lot of that was selfish. I didn't want to be somebody that wanted too many things, but I have discovered that when you really tap into that, it does kind of help you hone in on your purpose. And I think that's really hard to find, and it's amazing people like you exist to help us find that, so we can kind of hone in on what we're doing with our lives and spending our hours doing to make sure we have the most joy that we possibly could from it. So that's exciting stuff. And do you have a website that you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah. Well, Savvy Success Junkie, and at that website, it's Savvy with 2 V's, as in Victor, and Success, SUCCESS, and Junkie, JUNKIE.co. And as you mentioned, my clients are not just within the United States. Yes, I've spoken in every state in the United States with the exception, and including I've been in Puerto Rico as well, with the exception of Hawaii. So anybody that's listening, I want to go to Hawaii and all over the world. And so when we thought about what to put at the end, I didn't put .com. It's .co, which is a global extension.
Oh,
so we'll talk about that, SavvySuccessJunkie.co. And I would love to leave you with one more tip.
Great. Let's go.
And that is replacing discipline with habits. Again, if you want to, when you say we're working toward the goal, we have to be very disciplined. Well, let's see how goals work after a couple of months. But when you create healthy habits, habits are hard to break. So let's create healthy, fantastic habits and then live the life that we love, that we feel like living for.
I love that.
For, being selfish for.